Hello, people of the internet. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to the continuation of my adventure down the Fromist9 discography leading up to the full album that's coming out later this month. Now, I don't know if you've noticed or not, I am most likely not wearing the clothes that I wore for my other videos that have gone out today because I'm recording this ahead of time. This is being recorded Monday night. I've just had a wonderful dinner and got an email saying that the internet in my building is going to be down for a good chunk of Friday when I'm going to be home, which is unfortunate for me because, oh my goodness, the release calendar this week is stacked, and I just can't afford to not get ahead because there's just so much stuff that's coming out, and there's like at least two things every single day that I want to check out, and one of them, at least one per day, is an album. As a multi, we are being fed this week, but that does mean we have to plan around it a little bit. So we're going to do kind of pre-record this week's Fromis Fridays with the From.9 single album. We've got lyric videos for all three songs. And yeah, let's just transition over one time. This will be a kind of an interesting start because for those of you who don't know, Love Bomb was my first Fromist9 song ever. I heard it one day on my Spotify Shuffle. I loved the energy of it. I loved how fast it was. It just never really went past that until I found airplane mode like 2.5 years later. So we have made it to my first introduction to Fromist9 in like the discography, and we're gonna jump right into it. So here we go. Love Bomb, and of course we've got the two B-sides, Dancing Queen and Coloring, coming up afterwards. I know for a fact Coloring some people recommended in the comments when I asked over on the community post for B-side recommendations, so I'm looking forward to that one as well. But here we go, Love Bomb. I don't know why this lyric video decided to do the members in reverse order, but that's perfectly fine. I love that plucky synth in the background. I love this video game sound this has, and the ad-lib panning back and forth. Oh, this song does not get old. So, was Love Bomb officially the first Fromis song that had a dedicated rap verse? And the fact that it was rapper Chang who got the verse. It's interesting in this era, the like main vocal line between Jiwon, Gyuri, and Hayoung, they really kind of work in like sequence each other, where it's like Gyuri's voice is like right in between Jiwon and Hayoung's voice in terms of like everything, like power, tone, range. This song will always hold a spot in my heart, just because this was the first Fromis song I ever found. You know how like every group you follow and you just immediately fall in love with, there's the first song that you ever hear, and it's like the way the entire like adventure into fandom kind of happens. For me and Fromist9, it was this song. It took me a while to get started on the adventure, but this was the starting point. I always have fond memories of like the first song I always hear, and that's why I think it's so important that we cover so many debuts here on the channel. It's because like that first impression is so important, not just for like the artist, but for the fans listening to them. It's like I can, if you ask me any group, I can name you right away what song I found from that first, and like what made me fall in love with the group and the song. I want to go back to Chang's rap verse real quick, because the fact that this was like the first rap section in a Fromis song, I think is like, you know, it's a monumental time. I love the subdivision in that second line. The that is such an interesting way to divide that phrase. It's playing with rhythm and rhythmic subdivision so much. Okay, I gotta stop playing the song over and over and over if I want to keep this a reasonable length of time, but love bomb. Alright, next song. Dancing Queen. Unit song? Ooh! Jiwon, we floating on that. Nice melodic shift there. Oh my goodness. This like light funk guitar part in the chorus. Absolutely. Oh. I like that this song has been pretty low in the vocal register for the most part. Hearing Jihyun's voice and then Gyuri's voice immediately after, oh my goodness, they sound similar in this register. Oh, piano solo! Oh, get into a little bit of a swing type feel here. Ooh, okay, that's slick. There's a music theory lesson in here. Let me get to it after the song's over. I'm a dancing queen. That guitar solo. Spectacularo, spectacularo. Very, very, very nice. Ooh, this is an interesting unit. Because they've essentially taken the 5 lowest voices in the group and put them together. Gyuri has a high voice, can have a high voice. Which actually, I'm realizing through this song just how big Gyuri's vocal range is. God, that makes me sad that we're not going to get her for the next era, but oh my gosh, Gyuri, pop off. I mean, Gyuri had her high notes, but Gyuri had her low notes. Jisun, especially recently, has had a lot of lower notes. Jang, I feel like naturally has a lower tone in a way. Same with Jiyeon, and then Serom. Serom's kind of the exception in that rule. Like, I think her tone is naturally a little bit not higher, but there's a distinct squeak to her voice that makes it sound like a bad thing, but like her vocal color is very distinctive compared to the other 4 members within the subunit, but it doesn't feel really out of place because her vocal register fits with the other members here, and I quite like that. It's a really good offset after just the sheer overload of sensation and just like senses that was Love Bomb, because Love Bomb was a lot. It's high, it's loud, it's fast, it's in your face. This is kind of taking a little bit of a step back. Just you can flow along with the song a little bit more. Love Bomb, you have to get up and like really move with it. Dancing Queen, you can kind of just let the music take you. But I want to get to the music theory lesson I was talking about earlier. It's the transition going from the second chorus, the instrumental break, the bridge, and the final chorus. And primarily the percussion part behind it. Because the tempo of the song doesn't change. What changes is how the percussion section subdivides the musical measure, and how that changes the feeling of the song just by changing one very small section of the rhythm. So two, admittedly, the percussion part also does go into a solo, but in terms of rhythm, notice how throughout the solo and like the... Oh, it's doing the thing again, isn't it? Yep. Notice how during the chorus and the solo, it keeps a very consistent meter. So like the 1, 2, 3, 4, like I'll wave it out or I'll clap it out for you so you'll be able to hear it. But even though the percussion part has a little bit of flair to it just because it is a solo, it's still keeping a very consistent 1, 2, 3, 4 meter, right? Once we get into the bridge though, the pacing doesn't change. The major beats don't change. It's how the beats are split apart within the major bars is how it's different. In the bridge, notice how like instead of go 1, 2, 3, 4, there's a very faint feeling of it going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and there's not grace notes per se, but there's little notes before and after like the ends of each measure that gives it a little lilt, a little extra pep in the step. That's how you turn a standard 4-beat bar into like a little bit more of a jazzy swing feel to it. Is oh boy, oh boy, I've broken things. Notice how there's a little bit of a swing now, even though the major beats are still the same. And then we're back onto the firm quarter subdivision. That's super interesting. And one of the great things about music theory and rhythmic subdivision is that just by changing one little thing within the musical phrase, you can change the entire feeling of the song. Because all it's done is taken the standard 1, 2, 3, 4 quarter note formula and then added a little 16th note at the end of each measure. So it goes 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and just that little change makes it from a very firm, almost like marching pace song into this really nice jazzy swing type feel. The beauty of music theory, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between. It's tremendous fun. That was fun. That was really exciting. And we got more rapper Chang in this. So, the rest of the members, we have some vocal powerhouses within this next unit for coloring. I think I know this. This has been used in Channel 9s, and I've definitely heard it on some Flover 9 compilations. Oh, this is a really slow melody top line. And they're having Soyeon still sing. I'd be really curious to see when she starts rapping later in the discography. I love how slow this verse feels. And also, this song is high. Even like Soyeon's part in reality isn't very high, it still comes across as fairly high. I think it's the way she delivers the lines. And this chorus, just the amount of syllables they're cramming into each measure feels so fast. Bridge time. Still not extremely low. Soyeon getting up in her head voice a little bit. Oh yeah, the Megan high note. Oh, a little bit of a funky beat to finish this chorus. That's Jiwon up there. Well, that song ended very nicely. I love that little outro at the end. Very jazzy outro. Like, in theory, very jazzy outro. Okay, this was... Huh. Interesting how they divided this album. Because it's three very different songs in feel and in like vocal energy and vocal register. Love Bomb is loud. It's like an explosion going off, which makes the title very much appropriate for the song. Dancing Queen, also very appropriate for the song. It's kind of a little bit slower, well, in comparison to Love Bomb, but it's a little bit chiller in a way. It's a little bit more subdued. Vocals are a little bit lower. Then you have Coloring, which takes the vocal range of Dancing Queen, bumps it up seemingly what feels like an octave. Admittedly, it probably isn't an octave, but it's high. I can understand why they have the members in this like little subunit on this song, because admittedly, like Gyuri and other members within the Dancing Queen unit could hit those high notes. But this is like your lineup of high note hitters in like this era of Fromis. I feel like Knuckles had a lot of high notes in early Fromis 9 songs, or at least that's how I feel. And then of course you have your main vocal duo on the left over here, who I still to this day will stand and fight and die on the hill that these two as main vocalists in a group is an absolute cheat code. And then you have Soyeon, who can pretty much do just everything. Like, her range is actually stupid. Her rapping, like, give it a little bit of slower feel, give it really fast rap, a little low energy, high energy. She can sing in the lower register, she can sing in the higher register. Like, Soyeon is, if Jiwon and Hayoung are the vocal cheat codes, Soyeon is the ultimate cheat code. Like, she can do everything, and it's unfair to the other groups because honestly, like, the way I'm just falling for Soyeon is a problem, because I can't have like 5 biases in a group. It's not good. Like, my number one bias within the group probably won't be dethroned anytime soon, because Jisun has me like wrapped around her finger. I'm just I resonate with group parents a lot. So my biases in the group are Jisun and Cutie. And then Hayoung's vocals, especially in DM, because it was like a first song properly getting back into Fromis, absolutely blew me away. But Soyeon, Miss Soyeon, do you want to like leave me alone, please? Thank you. But I didn't realize this would be how this kind of like era of Fromis was, because here, actually, we'll take it over to here. So the From.9 album had a group title track and then 2 subunit songs. And then the next album, Fun Factory, was the same way originally. So it had Fun, the group title track. Then it had a 7-member B-side in Love Rum Pum Pum. And then a Jiwon Hayoung duet for Fly High, and that was the end of the album. Interesting way to do single albums. I think, especially with a group this big and with so much talent, I think it's really interesting to see subunit songs on a single, or just break apart the members a little bit, because it's a different way to like experience your music, because you're going to get voices where you typically wouldn't get certain members' voices. I think that's a really cool thing. I quite like that. The 2 B-sides were solid. And then the title track, of course, I mentioned it already. Love Bomb is always going to have a like special place in my heart. But this was tremendous fun, and I cannot wait to continue this later this week. I'm not doing Fun Factory because we've watched all three songs on the album already during the Soul Fromis deep dive. So next one is going to be My Little Society, which I'm tremendously looking forward to because that's the album that I know the least about at this point. And yeah, we'll hopefully finish the entire discography. Well, once we do what My Little Society, we have the 9-Way Ticket single, and then we have Midnight Guest because Talk and Talk was a single, it was a one-track single. So after this week, we'll only have 2 albums left, and hopefully that's enough time before the album drops. Because the goal is to finish their entire discography before the album. But that's it from me today. Thank you all for watching. If you did enjoy and want to see more, channel icon is up there. You can find the back catalog of stuff watched in the past. Drop a subscription. Oh, excuse me. If you want to leave, keep up to date with whenever I upload new videos, and if you want to watch another video of mine right away, YouTube recommends you watch that video down there. And until next time, bye bye.